this is Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41. If you know anything about this, this is in regards to Esau hating Jacob because of the blessing, and it tells you plainly. It says Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right, and some of the things that I'm gonna show you in regards to Esau slaying Jacob because of hatred. Let's get that word hate right quick. Is why Esau is gonna be cut off forever. All right. All right, the word for hatred is.
7852, Satam.
All right, it says to hate, oppose oneself to, bear a grudge.
Strong's H, 7852, Satam.
And this is what Esau Edom is doing, okay? And by him having that animosity, that grudge, okay? Let's look at that word animosity right quick. The word for animosity is strong hostility, all right? Strong hostility. And this is what Esau has done with his hatred, this strong hostility, okay? And I'm going to get, I'm sorry I keep going back and forth because I don't want that post to close out from Instagram. And it does that from time to time. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10, it says here, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right, this is in the NLT. It says, because of the violence you did to your close relatives in Israel, you will be filled with shame and destroyed forever. And the shame of Esau is coming out now because everything that he's done within his history, the Lord is exposing. Okay, let's look at this word violence. The word is Hamas. For violence, it says here, violence, wrong, cruelty, and justice, okay? Let's look it up. Violence, it says brutality, forcefulness, behavior involving physical force intended to harm, damage, or kill someone or something. All right, and that's what Esau Edom has done. Okay, let's look at some of these things here. Slavery wasn't that deep, ? This is what somebody made a post of, okay? Here goes the violence that Esau Edom has done to us in this time, okay? It says they used to eat us, they used to unalive our children and feed them to alligators. They used to take our skin and turn it into leather. They used to tie our wounds to horses and rip us apart. This is violence. It says they used to hang us as public entertainment. They used to take photos, swallow beside our bodies, turn them into postcards. They burned black towns to the ground when we became too successful. All right, that book, Without Sanctuary, shows this with the public hangings, okay? I'll keep running. Where the Levite G's got his symbol from, okay? Because they're at the bottom, all right? You can see a bunch of stuff in that book called The Delectable Negro, okay? It says here they used to experiment our body without anesthesia. That's what they did to the black woman. They did it to the black man as well. They let disease spread through our communities on purpose. The Tuskegee Institute, okay, experiment. They denied us education, housing, safety, and dignity, then blamed us for the outcome. These are all things that Esau Edom has done. This is violence, okay? It says they separated families by force. They renamed us to race, lineage. They criminalized our existence once slavery ended. Slavery was not that deep. It was that violent, that calculated, that intentional, and the effects didn't disappear. They were inherited. You don't know from history by minimizing, heal by telling the truth. Makes people uncomfortable. And this lady, whoever she may be, right? She's doing her due diligence, okay, to expose the wickedness of Esau Edom, okay? And the violence is behavior involving physical force that intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. All All right, and this is what Edom has done. He's done cruelty and justice. Let's look up this word injustice. Injustice, lack of fairness or justice, and that comes along the lines of what she was saying about the housing markets and the education, right? Let's look at this word cruelty. Callous indifference to or pleasure in causing pain and suffering. The welfare system, right? What does he mention here? Experimenting on a body, all right? Separating a family by force, all right? The welfare system did that, okay? It says not correct or true, incorrect. Here goes unjust, dishonest, or immoral. And that's what Esau Edom has done. And this is an example. And all these things that this lady said, you can look it up, okay? All right, so this, let me finish. Let me go back to, this is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, right? Exposing Esau in regards to his wickedness is bringing forth shame on him. So I asked ChatGTP about the meaning of Obadiah being Esau being cut off forever, Salakia. So this is what it said. It says violence against thy brother Jacob means Esau's descendants had long-standing hostility toward Israel. Jacob's descendants. The violence specified specifically includes, this is some of the things that happened during the time in the Old Testament, okay? All right, when the Babylonians came and sacked Jerusalem, all right? It says here, Jeremiah prophesied about that, and it happened, all right? It says here, I think around 586 BC, I got it written down in my Bible, but I can't remember. Nonetheless, it says, standing by when Israel was invaded, rejoicing over Israel's destruction, looting and taking advantage of their downfall, capturing and handing over fleeing Israelites. This is not just physical violence, but it says it's a betrayal of kinship. Esau and Jacob were brothers, so this was seen as a deep covenant violation. Well, Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith he was blessed, all right? It says, shame shall cover thee. This means public humiliation among nations. Now, that's happening now, okay? All the nations know in the current world, in the current age that we live in, what Esau Edom has done to the Lord's people. That's why it's being exposed on the internet. That's why they want to take down, historic artifacts in regards to so-called black history, all right? It says loss of honor and reputation, exposure of their pride and cruelty. Books, history does that. That's why they want to get rid of books in some instances. All right, that's why they want everything to be online. So when it's becoming too much of a trend or it doing too much exposure, they can just take it offline. All right. Now some of this down here is bullshit, so I'm not even going to read all of it, right? But I'm going to read the top part. Okay. It says here this is the key phrase. As verse 3 it says, just definition 3 or point 3. What cut off forever means. It says this is the key phrase you asked about. It carries national judgment, not just individual punishment. Complete destruction as a nation, loss of land, identity, and sovereignty, not lasting future or restoration as a people. All right, this bullshit down here, I'm not even going to read it, but let's get some scriptures in regards to this. Complete destruction as a nation, okay? Let's go get, let's go back into Obadiah. This is Obadiah chapter 1. And verse 18, it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. All right. Look, it says in the NLT, it says the people of Israel will be a raging fire, and Edom a field of dry stubble. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame roaring across the field, devouring everything. There will be no survivors in Edom. All right. This is what the Lord is saying through Obadiah that's going to happen. And we're going to witness it during the destruction of America, man. Okay. This is Micah. Let me go to, I think it's Malachi. I always get them mixed up. Yep. This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 1. Chapter 1 and verse 1, it says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh, yeah, I love Jacob. And how did the Lord love us? By giving us the blessing that we're going to walk into once this age is over and done with, okay? And Esau hated, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. All right. This is what's going to happen here to Esau Edom, man. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's get some of Jeremiah. Let's see. I'm just trying to see where I want to start. I'm going to just start at verse 12. It says, for thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. The things that we had to take part of, Esau Edom going to take part of it, all right? It says, for I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach and a waste, a curse, and all the city thereof shall be perpetual waste. Verse 14, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, an ambassador is sent among the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to battle. These nations are going to come against Esau Edom. They're going to be the tools that the Lord uses to make this place a desolation. It says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men, because of his great pride, right? It says, thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, that hold the highest of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. Also Edom shall be a desolation, and everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at it, at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there forever. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. All right, and this is what the Lord's going to do to Esau Edom, man, okay? Just like ChatGTP said, public humiliation, loss of honor, reputation. I'm sorry, let me go down. Loss of land, identity, and sovereignty, no lasting future or restoration as a people, all right? This is what's going to happen to Esau Edom, man, because of the violence, because of the things that I was able to read to you in this lady's post, okay? Lord, we was edified. To the next time, Shalom.